you are watching... Hello, you are watching The Garden Corner Show. We are crazy passionate about everything gardening that we know of. I'm J-Dog, Jonn Karsseboom. I'm here with Mr. Dave. How are you, Mr. Dave?
I'm doing great, John.
Doing great as usual. It's a rainy day. I want to talk to you about... We're going to do some videos on pruning fruit trees and pruning in general. But before we get into, I promised a long time ago that I would show you how to, what was I going to show? Oh, how to sharpen your pruners and make sure that they are nice and sharp for when you cut. And the reason being is that it makes it a lot easier, keeps your tools longer. But just some helpful hints if you don't have a pair of pruners and you're shopping for some. I wanted to go over it just real quick, and we'll go over it in a little more in depth. But the basic question I like to ask first about buying a pair of pruners is, how organized of a person are you? So if you are very organized, you always know where your tools are, and you put your tools away, you certainly can invest in a high... You've earned the right to invest in a higher end pair of pruners. Now right here, this is a Leatherman pruners. Felco tends to be the industry standard, though there's lots of other pruners that are just as good. Leatherman here, this is a Portland company. They throw in those added cool tools as well. But actually a very, very good pair of pruners. So generally, and we'll go into it about the mechanics of the pruners. This is a little higher priced on things, but last a lot longer. Now, if you're not as organized a person, say you tend to lose tools a lot, I would probably invest in the lower end pruners and just keep your blade nice and sharp, and that's what we're going to do today. So this here is a pair of Rumford Gardner pair of pruners, a bypass pruner. They are $12.99, so it doesn't really hurt as much if you were to lose this, leave it outside, or because pruning tends to... Well, you tend to use a pair of pruners a lot in parts of the year, and so it's easy to lose. So I'm one of those that lose it a lot. But if you buy a pair of pruners, invest in a tool sharpener. And now this one here is one that I particularly like. It's by DMT, Diamond Machining Technology. What it is just kind of a switchblade type of sharpener. So what we're going to do is run that blade along this. Actually, we're going to run this tool along the blade. But it's really handy. So, and it's a great investment. So when you're out pruning, have your pruner, your sharpening tool in your pocket with you. So that way it just really makes it really easy. Anyway, let's go over pruning. Now, certainly I have some very good pruners. The blades are really, really sharp, of course. But what I have done is picked one of the most... It looks like one of the most abused pair of pruners that I could find. So this has been sitting in the weather, so it's really rusty. Let me show you a close-up on what to look for here. Now you notice the blade is all kind of rusty, and I don't know if we're going to remove any of that rust. But on your pair of pruners, what you're really looking for is this cutting edge. Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to get you a good pair of pruners first. Okay, so take a look. Now this one you can really see. You see how that blade is indented and it's at an angle? Right there is the sharp edge of your pair of pruners. That's where all the cutting is going to happen. And right at this part particularly is where all the wear and tear is going to happen. So really look at this part of the pair of pruners. This is where you are going to have your nicks and cuts cut into your blade. This is where your wear is going to occur. And what we're going to do is run our tool just right along that angle. And it's going to say like, gosh, I'm not even doing anything. We're going to run the tool along that and it's going to sharpen. Then we're going to clean off this edge and we're going to flip it over. And on this edge here, we're just going to run that sharpening tool straight, not at an angle here, but just straight, remove any of that gunk on there. So that's all it really takes to sharpen this tool. So let's try it with this junky old beaten up pruner. Hold on a second. Okay, so here we are. There's your blade, right? So we're just going to run this right along there. Maybe we should have a time lapse.
Speed up the video through here?
Yeah, time lapse. And you notice I'm really just doing it one way. Let's see here. You can see that edge starting to brighten up. I hope you're not getting dizzy. And this is really, because it has all that rust on there, that's what's kind of holding this up. But I can feel it just getting sharper on my tool hand, just by the resistance on it. And I'm maintaining that angle of the blade. Well, I picked a doozy of one. But we're going to create a new life out of this. It's going to have a second wind. Be able to prune all kinds of things. Is it? My arm's getting tired. And I can see the nicks disappearing, believe it or not, at this part of the blade. Oops. Well, you can start seeing that, how it's much more, it's just sharper on this edge. Now when I run my fingers here, I can feel the little shavings, on the other side, and we'll clean that off when we flip it over. So when you flip it over, this is that other edge, and what we're going to do is just keep it nice and straight. Nice and straight there. And you can start seeing that shine a bit, that cutting edge. Now I'm just rubbing off that gunk and that excess on that. Gosh, we picked like the hardest pair of pruners there is. You can see how that blade's starting to shine right there on the edge. On this side, I still have a few nicks in that blade here. I had to pick the hardest one, didn't I? And right at this time, you think, should I just go buy another pair? There, you can see that edge. I don't know if you can see it. Can you kind of see the glow of that edge? Can you? Okay. So anyway, that's where we want. Now on this side of the blade, we're just going to clean it off and try to clean off as much gunk as possible. Oftentimes this clogs up this little tool here, but and we're just going to do it nice and just nice and straight on that, so that when it passes each other, it's just a nice even cut on that. So anyway, that's a rusted old blade brought back to life. It certainly has more cuts in it. Now we got to prevent that. A good oil spray on that certainly helps not to leave it outside as well. So that is sharpening a tool and keeping it lasting a lot longer. So, does that help? Well, I hope it does. Got lots of blades to sharpen around here. Hey, I hope that helps. If it doesn't, we've got the quote for the day. Here it is. I would not waste my life in friction when it could be turned into momentum. Thank you, Francis Willard. That's the show for the day. Live your passion.
Right out of the sunset on the color TV screen.